There it is, ladies and gentlemen, my Shopsmith 10er serial 27941. And I think with a number like that, it might be 1949, 1950, possibly. I think they started making these in 47. If anybody knows any better, hit me in the comments down below and let me know. I'd really appreciate it. There's my pieces and parts for it. But in this video, I make some improvements to this rickety old bench right here and some modifications I think you might be interested in. And I made a couple of repairs too, so stick around and check that out. Now, from what I understand, Shopsmith would sell leg kits with them. And it was basically legs for one end, legs for the other end, and you put your own planks on. And they were the same color, that battleship gray or whatever. Had a little lever, you step on it, the wheels would pop down, you could roll it around your shop. And folks would buy these things without the leg kits and build their own tables. And it was pretty common to do that. This table was built when that thing was purchased. And look, whoever built it, used these carriage bolts with these square nuts on there. Wasn't afraid to use them either, look. He's got a few in there, and they loosen up over time. I've had to crawl under there and tighten this thing up a couple times. Look. Hey, how you doing today? All right, now look. You see how the angle of the dangle is here? Look how that is, how it's towed in on the bottom right there. Now look at this, look. Look down through here. Looks like one of those optical illusion things, like an Escher piece or something, look. Well, without getting too carried away and rebuilding this whole thing, right? I think I'm just gonna tighten it up and throw some gussets on there and get those legs straightened out. Get that tool mounted back on there because I got a lot of work for that thing in drill press mode. Besides, I think I wanna look for some of the original style legs anyway. There is one modification I wanna make to this thing. It usually lives right here along the wall. And when I stand that up into drill press mode, I'm facing it like this. And the work table is really close to the wall right here. And it makes it really hard to work with big pieces. You can see the footprint of that thing right up here on the plywood. And with the machine and drill press mode, I want to be able to pull that pin and this pin and pivot on that pin, turn the base like this, get it to face me like this, and I'll have more room on either side of the quill. So with all that said, I'm trying to find a use for that scrap melamine. So I'm going to slice off a piece of that and I'm going to reskin the top of that plywood. Then I'm going to take some of this milk jug plastic. I'm going to make some washers for the bottom of this thing. So when I go to pivot that, it's going to spin with very low friction. PB Blaster. Every wood shop should have some. Look at these fasteners, you guys. Oh my God. Anyway, I tightened all the bolts on this thing and it corkscrewed on me something wicked. So I had to take the tops off and put it in the frame straightener, just like the collision center. Okay, you guys, I'm going to replace this piece. I'm going to put a full plate gusset on this end between those legs, and a full plate gusset on this end, and some corner gussets all the way around, and see if that straightens it out. So a little bit ago, Annie took the wire cut brush and cleaned up the feet, sanded it all out, got it all shiny. Then she took this milk jug plastic and cut 3 pieces out of that, and cleaned it all up with the rubbing alcohol, the feet and the plastic. Then she glued it up with crazy glue, wrapped some wax paper, and clamped it up. While Annie was doing that, I took this piece off that's all broken and done, found a scrap piece of pressure treat, cut it to length, used this as a template, poked some holes in that, got that mounted, got my first plate gusset on this side, I got another one for that side, got some triangular ones for the corners. Now leave me alone, I'm busy. Okay, so we got some gussets on there. We got a new top on it. It's all bolted up and tightened up. Now I'm just checking on these little plastic skids here. I don't know how that's going to make out there with the milk jug plastic and super glue. We'll see. Anyway, it's time to move this thing. Okay, so I'm getting ready to mount that thing to the bench, but I need to go to the hardware store and get some new fasteners because now the tabletop is double thickness. What? You think this is some kind of posh YouTube channel where there's not a mess going on? This is real life, folks, man. Deal with it. Well, geez, Scott, I sure do like your videos, but I always feel like you're yelling at me all the time. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to custom make them so they fit down in your ear hole all nice and easy? You want me to hold your hand and pat you on the back and give you a lifesaver? Come on, get in the car. We gotta go. Oh, look at that. We got some new fasteners in there. Now I'm just trimming off the milk jug. Look, nice and clean right there. But I stick this flexible putty knife underneath and cut on that so I don't cut into the melamine and ruin that right off the bat. All right, so this is how I would use the drill press before. Right here on the end of the bench, I just stand it up, slide the table in there. But as you can see, I'm limited on the size of workpiece I can put in because of this wall right here. So the whole object of the exercise is having that milk jug plastic on there is to be able to pivot that on the melamine. Okay, Bob Vila, put your money where your mouth is. Let's see it. All right, well, here we go. Ready? Oh, look at that, you guys. Like it was on wheels. Oh, man. Now I'll just square it up and drill some new locations and pin it down there. Oh, boy. There it is, you guys. I love it. I love you. Oh, I love you. What's not to love about this thing? Look at it. Oh, man. No dust collection. Not one safety feature on the whole thing. You know Shopsmith. Safety last. Okay, so now I'm going to see about fixing this plug. I'll probably just reflow that solder right there and take the prong off. Strip this back a little bit and retin those ends. Dig this prong out, clean that all up, solder it back on, and jam them back in this old Shopsmith plug instead of using this goofy thing. But you know what? I got to clean all this up first, man. This is driving me nuts. I'm tripping over chainsaws for crying out loud. If OSHA ever saw that right there, look at this. I'm getting a headache, man. I got to clean this up, and then I'll switch over to electrical repair mode. Oh my goodness, you guys. No call, no show for a couple days there. Sorry, got a little head cold and I couldn't see myself coming down here packing my face full of sawdust. So I had to take a couple days off to recuperate. But I did the bare bones minimum just to get by with the boss there. But I'm ready to get back after it today. So I'm working on the plug. I used my cheapo iron to reflow the solder and remove the prong. Dug the other prong out of there. Now I'm going to strip this back and retin the ends with this Rojas compliant solder. And then solder those back on and stick them back in there. See if it works. So yeah, I'm working with this 70-year-old wire and plug end, and I haven't had much progress. These prongs need a lot of heat to get a good solder joint, and I've been clipping back trying to get to some good jacket, but look, just can't take the heat, blistering and cracking. Well, anyway, I was able to cut this external jacket back and get to some good internal jacket. So I retinned the ends, and now I'm just going to use this store-bought mechanical plug end with the Phillips head Forstners. Try that. Okay, there it is. Let's plug it in and see if we let the smoke out. Which one? Dip, dip, dip. My little ship. Oh, God! Just kidding. So far, so good. Yeah. I'd love to use the original plug end, but this will be fine. And you know I'm going to have to replace this cable soon, too, because it's starting to crack a little bit here and there. And I was thinking some nice supple SOW or something like that. But if any of you Shopsmith pros have any suggestions, please leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate it. Okay, 1950. Look, Montgomery Ward. Now, don't cry. Replacement parts under lathe, tool rest assembly, $3.50, part number 1051. Look, 1051. That's this. $3.50. Tubular way, $7.80. That's that right there. That's the way tubes right there, okay? One of those, $7.80. Look at this thing here. Headrest, $4.85. That's this thing, $4.85. One more, this is the business end right here. Spindle, quill, and bearing assembly, $11.75. That's this thing. Well, not the Jacobs chuck, but everything coming out of there, look. Look at the steel, man. Look at the machining on that thing. $12, Montgomery Ward. Run right down there and get one. Oh, hold on there, SpaceX. Let's land it on the drone ship for once. Look. 1950, Joe Schmo blue collar hourly rate, 40 cents an hour. 40-hour week, $16 a week. Look, that was almost your whole paycheck back then, Daddy. Well, I love it, man. This thing's built like a tank. And Festool doesn't make them like that, I'll tell you that right now. There's only 3 pieces of plastic on the whole thing. This plug end that I just put on there, the milk jug plastic underneath the foot, and this knob right here, and I don't even think that's plastic. Picture this. You're down in the basement with your grandpa. He's got Glenn Miller on the radio. He's wearing his tweed coat, and he's smoking a pipe. And he's teaching about this new technology they call plywood. He's talking to you like he's Foghorn Leghorn. I said, boy, you're about as sharp as a bowling ball. You know, when the drill press was in this position, you could see the badge, or the side cover. That's where the electrical connections are for the switch, right? I'm going to miss that, man. Look at all that real estate there. I need another badge. Maybe I'll get one and just stick it on there. All right, so we got the bench all straightened up and strengthened up. Got a piece of melamine on there. Got the milk jug plastic underneath so the pivot is nice and slick. And I put the new plug end on there, and I even oiled up the quill. Look at that. Man, she's happy. Okay, so tell us about upcoming videos. There'll be cabinet assembly. I got to make doors and drawer fronts out of cherry, and that'll all get edge banded. I'm making Baltic birch dovetail boxes for these drawer banks right here. So you might want to subscribe and stick around for that.